Hello everyone, it's Mrs. P with Mrs. P Budgets. I am going to show you how I do my sinking funds. This has been like a continuously changing process because there's always room for improvement. But I've kind of gotten it down to setting it up with the overview of how much I want to set aside for sinking funds. I start this kind of after I figure up our bills and expenses for the month. That way I know how much money I'm working with. I don't want to deplete all of our extra money towards sinking funds because, we're trying to pay off debt. In fact, this month I've redone this twice already just to make sure the numbers make sense. So what I do is I just go ahead and I think about my categories. I think about what's coming up, birthdays, holidays, things like that. Eventually, I would like to have, things built up like birthdays and holidays to where we don't need to, worry so much about, adding extra right before something happens. We'll have that already established. So anyway, I start with the overview of the month. Let me see if I can zoom you in just a little bit. All right, so I start with my wallet categories. So this is what goes in my wallet minus gas. That's, a debit purchase, so we never pull for cash on that. So we've got, our groceries, pet food, household, spending money, ball games, and eating out, except for this month we're not putting any money toward eating out. Then we've got, all of our binders, each one is in its own section. That just makes it easier for when I am planning the cash and cash stuffing. It's just, I like things to go smoothly. So that just makes it easier for me. With each category or each binder, wallet, whatever you want to call it, I total up each section. And then I have a grand total over here. Now, this is the monthly amount. Then I take a whole nother spreadsheet. It's a document that I've created on Google Docs because I am not tech savvy, so I just do the best I can with what I know how to do. So this is like a 2-page spread because I like to make it big enough to where I can see it. I am in my 40s. My eyesight is not the best. So what I do is I have over here, let me just make this a 1-page view so you can kind of see closer. All right, so this is for the month of January. The budget overview, the monthly, I put that amount here beside the categories. Then I break it down into how many paychecks we're going to have that month. Typically, it's only 4, but because we started our January budget at the end of December, we had 5 weeks that we needed to plan for. That's why we had a little bit more that we needed to spend toward groceries and household, things like that. So that's why I had to make adjustments and rework the numbers just to make things work because it was I didn't have as much money coming into the month of January from my paycheck. So it was just, we had to be tight with our money. So I'll put out the amount here. Then I'll break it down into each week how much I'm going to fund. Now, my wallet categories get funded every week, but some of my sinking funds do not. Beauty does get funded most weeks. I set aside $80 a month, so the 5 weeks doesn't impact stuff like beauty. Medical, I went ahead and set $100, so I broke it into 20. If you see family fun here, I said 75. I knew we needed $75 at least to add to our family fun envelope just because we had something planned with my son. So we knew we needed to have that money there, but it won't get funded the rest of the month. So that one's been used, and that's it for family fun. I try to break up these amounts, if you notice, throughout the month. Because, the first of the month, even though I get my paycheck the first of the month, and, that's a pretty big check, so it covers a lot of our sinking funds. However, I need to kind of space it out. I don't want to deplete all of our money at the beginning of the month. But I also know that some weeks in the month, we have you know, higher bills. So I've got to, you know, just make sure those numbers work, and that way it works out with our budget. So this is, it is a 2-page spread. So then after I do all that, and I've got all my numbers calculated and added and, you know, in their right places, that's when I take my cash planning sheets. Now this is something that I got from the Aesthetic Dollar. I love her channel. I love her things. I wish that I had more money. I guess I have money because I do have my blow money that I've saved up. But I'm frugal, so I make my purchases very carefully. But I did see this as something that was going to be very helpful and useful, even though I've been able to make my own like templates and stuff. This one was just smaller, easier to, you know, take with me, put it in my purse. And after I plan out my cash here, then I do have her teller slips that I use at my bank. I can't tell you how many compliments that I've had from the tellers when I bring this little teller slip in with the cash breakdowns, how many, you know, of each denomination that I need. They love it. It makes their job so much easier, and it's just a cute little, you know, way to cash plan. So after I get, you know, all of my categories done, if you notice, I've already highlighted, we've already done, you know, cash plan for the first week of the month. So now we're on January 4th. So I'll just go down through each day. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. Maybe I'll move this kind of off camera and then zoom in a little bit here. And then I will go through each category and write down. So for groceries, I had decided that this month I'm going to try to eat more from the pantry and the freezer. I did give us $150 last week, but I decided after I had already gotten the cash out that I wanted to go down to $125. So I set aside $25 and I'm going to add it to this week. So I'm only going to get out $100 for groceries. Pet supplies. We have 2 dogs and a cat, but we're also pet sitting my son's dog. 2 of the dogs are bigger dogs. 1 is a small dog. We make our own dog food, so that gets, you know, it adds up. So this week we're going to only give 20. Household, we're going to give 20. Got to get some toilet paper. No, not toilet paper, sorry. Paper towels. Mr. P, Mrs. P, and Miss P. Mr. P gets 20. I get 45 this week, and my daughter gets 20. I get more in my budget or my blow money because my husband, he has extra expenses for his hobbies, and instead of, you know, giving him the money and then having to put it right back in the bank, I just take it out of his blow money. All right, sporting events. If you noticed, when I introduced you to my wallets and envelopes and binders, I had depleted the sporting events. I had built it up not quite a bit, but it had, you know, a decent amount of money in there. And we had a Christmas tournament for basketball over the holidays, and goodness, they charged twice the amount to get into those games. All right, so we're getting 20, so that envelope needs it. All right, eating out, oh, nothing. All right, so this is all out of my wallet. Then we have beauty, which is 20. Medical, 20. Medical, just that pays for like over-the-counter prescription or subs. I can't talk tonight. I'm running on very little sleep right now. Medical, that covers like over-the-counter medicines and prescriptions. Me and my husband and daughter all have good insurance, but you know, we still have co-pays on our prescriptions. School supplies. This covers like if my daughter wants to get snacks at school. For some reason, the snacks at school are better than the exact same snacks that I can send from home. It's just so much cooler to get it at school. All right, then gifts. Gifts get 25. That is all for that. And then my month ahead. Month ahead is really not to get a month ahead, but to actually save for my summer pay. I'm a teacher and I don't get paid in the summer, so I have to set aside money so that we can, you know, have income over the summer. It's going to get 150. All right, that's it on that side. I'll flip this over. let's see here. Biggest Loser. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, my husband and I are on a diet to try to lose weight before our vacation in April. So we are doing the Biggest Loser, seeing who can lose the most percentage of weight. And I'm sticking $5 in an envelope every week, and whoever wins gets that money. And I have a feeling he will win. He's doing really good. Subscriptions is going to get 20. Sports, this is not for ball games and stuff, but for the equipment and things like that that my daughter needs to play sports. Vacation, we've already covered vacation, but this is going to be like gas money to get down when we travel. All right, so that's out of that. The only envelope that's going to get stuffed in our holiday binders is Christmas. Christmas was completely depleted, so we are starting at $0, and I'm going to put $40 in Christmas. Christmas, we spent a fortune. I don't know why everything is so much more expensive, and it just felt like I got less for my money than I usually do. All right, so if I add all of these up, I would get $565. Okay. So then I go and I think about my denominations. In groceries, because I'm just going to get, let's see here. I think I'm going to get a 50, 2 20s, and a 10. Because of one grocery store that I go to, they don't accept any bills over a 20. All right, pets, I'm going to get a 20. Household, a 20. Mr. P gets a 20. Mrs. P, I'm going to get 2 20s and 1 5. Miss P, I'm going to get her 2 10s. Sporting event, I'm going to get 2 10s. Beauty, a 20. Medical, a 20. School supplies, a 20. Gifts, a 20 and a 5. Month ahead, we're working in the John Deere envelope. It got $30 last week. So I'm going to go ahead and get a 100 and a 50 because I need $405 for that envelope. Subscriptions is going to get a 20. Sports, a 10. Vacation, a 10. And Christmas is going to get 2 20s. Okay, so then I'm going to add all of those up. All right, I've got 1 100. Goodness. 1 250s, 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 20s, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 5s, 1 2 I did that wrong, 7 10s, 2 5s. Okay. The next thing I would do, and I'm not going to do that on camera because just I don't want to take, this whole video to be too long, but I would take all of these denominations, add them up, compare them with this, and make sure it matches. Typically it does unless I've just made a mistake in how many denominations, and it doesn't take, too long to figure that out. This month of cash stuffing and cash planning is going to look a lot different than it usually does because I'm not stuffing as much because, income is a little bit more tight and I just had to cut. So I cut from my cash envelopes. All right. So thank you for watching and I will see you in another video. I will get the cash from the bank and I will do my first cash stuffing, tomorrow night, and tomorrow is Friday, so I look forward to spending that time with you. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.